From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fbx Evening News.
Top story, Alaskans have 2 more hours to cast their ballots in the 2014 primary election.
Republicans Dan Sullivan and Mead Treadwell, as well as Joe Miller, are vying for the nomination for U.S. Senate. The winner is expected to challenge incumbent Democrat Mark Begich in the general election in November. Congressman Don Young has 3 Republican challengers in this primary: John Cox, David Donner, and David Seward. Republican Governor Sean Parnell is facing Gerald Hikes, Russ Millett, and Brad Snowden. Democrats Byron Mallett and Phil Stoddard are facing off for their party's nomination. In this state representative District 1 race, Greg Bringhurst and Jomo Stewart are seeking the GOP nomination. Democrats Larry Murakami and Uri Nalikak are trying for the nomination for District 2 representative seat. In District 3, Republicans Tammy Wilson and Doug Isaacson are facing off.
Fairbanks City Hall has a new name. It's dedicated to a man who served the local community from behind the scenes. Today, local and state legislators held a rededication ceremony for Patrick Cole. He died last November due to complications from surgery while serving the city of Fairbanks as chief of staff. Cole is known to have served the city of Fairbanks for several years as a respected advisor to many city mayors. Mayor John Eberhardt unveiled a plaque bearing Cole's name at the front of City Hall. State Representatives Steve Thompson and David Guttenberg were also there at the ceremony. They revealed that they have been working with the state legislature to honor the Cole family with separate plaques listing their accomplishments in the Fairbanks community.
Behind the scenes, he worked. He did not believe in attention, so he would be kind of embarrassed by this honor because he really liked being behind the scenes and giving credit to other people, which was another great strength of his, and I'm really, all our family is very grateful for this.
He would be very, very honored to have received this. He would have been very modest and humbled also, but deep down, I think he would have liked the sign. He wouldn't have liked it if he was around, but now that he's gone, I think it's just fine.
Earlier this month, after much campaigning and a united community effort, it was announced that Eielson Air Force Base has been selected as the preferred location for the stationing of 48 F-35s. Mike Schultz was at today's Chamber of Commerce luncheon and filed this report.
Today's program kicked off with a summarization on what steps were involved in the process of selecting Eielson to house the new fighter jets and what hurdles still lay ahead. Borough Mayor Luke Hopkins commented afterwards on the impact to the community and was quite excited about the economic pluses the movement of the 2 squadrons to Eielson would have.
It's very, very important for our community that this happened. The community has really put out a lot of effort in support of Air Force at Eielson Air Force Base. We talk about the F-16s, and now we talk about the F-35s and also the J-Park expansion, the airspace expansion. All these things fit into, I think this is an incredibly right decision.
Tim Jones, chairman for the Military Affairs Committee for the Chamber, along with Colonel Cape Zimp, garrison commander for Fort Wainwright, spoke afterwards and wanted to communicate that the public needs to demonstrate to the Army their support for Fort Wainwright.
This time, as the Army looks at reducing another 40,000 soldiers, they're looking at all those same installations again. Fort Wainwright, I think, has a strong strategic position.
So the process it's just not a political one. There's other components that go into making this decision. It's going to come from a lot of different sources. One of the most important ones, in my view, is going to come from the community, just not from the data, but from the support that's given from the community. And I think in terms of Fort Wainwright and the interior of Alaska, a very strong case comes from the local community.
The public is encouraged to give their support with a simple letter or postcard. Mike Schultz reporting.
All right, when we come back, a 16-year-old Delta Junction male is in custody charged with arson. Also, the North Star Volunteer Fire Department received a grant to buy new equipment. We'll have the details. Stay with us. And welcome back. Not guilty pleas today for 2 men accused of entering a residence and attacking the occupants with weapons. 21-year-old Howard Joseph and his co-defendant, 22-year-old Jeremiah Alexander, are both facing 3 counts of third-degree assault as well as first-degree burglary. According to court documents, the two entered the Fairbanks residence and attempted to assault the occupants with knives. A fight broke out and the two men then left the scene. Police were able to locate the suspect shortly after. One of the two alleged suspects, Joseph, is out of jail on $5,000 bail.
A Venati man is facing multiple charges after allegedly breaking into a home and assaulting one of its occupants. 18-year-old Enoch Peter is charged with felony assault, robbery in the first degree, and 2 counts of burglary in the second degree. Charging documents say Peter entered into the Venati home uninvited and took several items after pointing a knife to the victim's chest. Troopers said Peter then beat the man, punching him and kicking him to the ground. The victim was taken to a medical center for treatment of his injuries sustained during the assault. Peter was arrested and taken to Fairbanks Correctional Center.
A 16-year-old Delta Junction male is in custody, charged with arson in connection to 2 fires, one of which destroyed the Clearwater Lodge in May. The unidentified teenager was apprehended on Sunday after troopers say he forcibly entered another Delta Junction residence, stole items, and then set the house on fire to cover up the burglary. A release stated the teen admitted to the arson and theft on Monday, further admitting to setting the fire that destroyed the popular lodge on May 15th. It is unclear at this point if anyone else was involved in the arson. Troopers say an investigation into the arson is continuing and that the teen's name cannot be released at this time.
We cannot name a defendant, or we don't name suspects in general unless they're actually charged with something. But even when a juvenile is charged with a crime, it goes through Department of Juvenile Justice, and anything going through Department of Juvenile Justice is confidential per statute. The only way more information about this juvenile could be put out is if he was waived to potentially an adult court where the case would be tried with him as an adult.
The North Star Volunteer Fire Department received a new piece of equipment as part of a grant. Through both the Fireman's Fund Insurance Company and Alaska USA Insurance Brokers, the North Pole-based fire station was awarded over $5,000 to purchase a thermal imaging camera. Fire Chief Steve Crouch said he applied for the grant in hopes of being able to fund the purchase. He said this particular piece of equipment has many different uses and is a valuable tool for the challenges of fighting fires in Alaska.
And it's designed to see in atmospheres that are smoke-filled where you can't see by eye. It picks up the heat traces of people, and it'll also pick up hot spots in buildings. So that's what we use them for, is to search for people that are trapped in fires and also to find hidden fires and put them out. Troopers use them. They've used our TICs to search for people that are lost out in the woods. It'll also pick up the heat traces outside.
The passing of celebrity Robin Williams shined a stark light on the struggles faced by people with depression. Monty Bowen has more on this subject in this week's Health Report.
Hello, Crisis Connection.
The Crisis Connection hotline is just one of many across the country that help people with depression and suicidal thoughts. With news of Robin Williams' death Monday,
there was an increase in calls.
Those who are struggling are encouraged to make the call.
This is an illness that we can save lives if they reach out and get help.
So how do you know if a loved one is depressed?
Loss of interest in day-to-day activities, loss of enjoyment in life, difficulty sleeping.
Other signs can include difficulty eating, a sense of hopelessness, loss of concentration, and sometimes thoughts of harming oneself. Best way to find out if someone is thinking about suicide is to ask them.
If you say, are you thinking about hurting yourself or killing yourself, it gives that person an opportunity to say yes, and then gives you an opportunity to help.
And if they say yes, then you need to stay with that person. You need to contact your local crisis services and get them help.
In addition to national agencies, one local resource is the Fairbanks Crisis Line. It operates 24 hours a day at 452-HELP. This is Monty Bowen reporting.
The Health Report is brought to you by the Ear, Nose, and Throat Clinic, located in the Medical Dental Arts Building. Call 456-7768.
All right, Joe Cook joins us now with a little preview, if you will, of sports. What's going on?
Yeah. Well, today we're going up the hill to check out the UAF volleyball team. Awesome. You'll hear from them what they want to do differently this season, plus another preview of a special Wednesday night football game. Sports is next. Hello, Interior Alaska. Joe Cook here this Tuesday evening with your local sports. We start with the Alaska Nanox volleyball team. Monday was the first practice of the 2014 season for the program. Here's more. There's nowhere to go but up for the Nana volleyball team in 2014. Last season, the Nooks went 4-25 overall, winning 3 conference games. That was head coach Mallory Laranyaga's first season as head coach. It was just as much as a learning experience for her as it was for the team.
One of the biggest things that I learned about myself was to go with my instincts. I think as a coach, it's really easy to kind of push the envelope and have a hardship in patience. But we went through that first year, and I don't like losing, but it taught me a lot in terms of my instinct and the personnel that I want. I want somebody that says, yeah, coach, I'll do our dirty laundry. I'll do it. Yes, coach. And I have that this year.
Laranaga hit the reset button. A number of players left from last season, including some underclassmen, but the Nanooks brought in 7 new players, 2 transfers, and 5 freshmen to go along with 8 returners, all recruited by Laranaga. The Nooks will also get a big boost from the return of Maddie Davis, who returns from an ACL injury that sidelined her all of last year. One player who would definitely lead the charge in getting W's is Captain Sam Hartoon. The junior outside hitter was first-team All-GNAC last year, leading the conference in kills with 435, but Hartoon has a short-term memory.
That doesn't matter anymore because it's a new season. My records last year don't matter anymore. My records from the year before don't matter anymore, you know? So I have new records I need to meet, and you know, I need these girls to do that. And I can look at our setters and be like, hey, guess what? Like, these are the stats I want to meet. This is what I want to be ranked nationally. And if I do this, and this is what you'll be ranked nationally. And you know, if we work together with our diggers, we're going to get all this happening. And you know, so like if they like do what they're supposed to do, that I can do what I'm supposed to do, I'll give them stats too. So it's all just big team effort. What do you know?
Fellow captain libero Tessa Butterfield is the lone senior on the team this year. Butterfield says the team has a new mantra that they will play under in 2014.
We decided on 3 separate words: pride, dedication, and character. And I think that's huge, just as who we are as a person and on the court. Past that, I mean, we play to our highest ability at all times, and we have high standards, and at that point I think the girls will just connect immediately.
The Alaska volleyball team will start the new sports season for UAF with their exhibition against the alumni on Saturday, August 30th. The season opens with the Flint Hills Resources Nana Classic as UAF hosts the St. Edwards Hilltoppers and the Tiffin Dragons at the Patty Center September 4th through the 6th. And just about all the fall prep sports have started. There will be some hitting full throttle in the next week or so. Today, high school tennis started, and it looked as if Mother Nature had other plans, but the threatening rain clouds and some spotty showers cleared out before the Lathrop Malamutes took on the Monroe Rams on the Dan Ramras Community Tennis Courts right by Lathrop High School. West Valley, they're taking on North Pole and Santa City tonight as well. Tennis action continues this week. On Thursday, the Malamutes are scheduled to face the Wolfpack at the DRCTC, and the combo team of Hutchinson and Allison will play the Monroe Rams at the Alaska Club. We'll have full results from day 1 of tennis season tomorrow. The North Pole Patriots football team will be doing something this week that the New England Patriots will be doing this season, and that's getting through a short week. Most NFL teams will have a Sunday and then a Thursday night game. Well, North Pole came off a 41-35 victory over the West Valley Wolfpack in a classic high-scoring game this past Friday night. Tomorrow, the Patriots will host the Ketchikan Kings at Patriot Pride Stadium in their first Southeastern Conference game of the season for both teams. Wednesday is also the first day of school, and kickoff is going to be at 6 o'clock to accommodate that. The Kings defeated Monroe 51-12 on Saturday. Now, the last time K-High and North Pole played, the Patriots manhandled the Kings 55-6 in last year's Medium Schools playoff quarterfinals. Wednesday night, the Pats will also dedicate their field to Buck Nystrom's right-hand man, longtime interior football coach James Watson.
There's a lot of current coaches right now that played for him, and I think that shows. He's just kind of an institution of the interior with Coach Nystrom. The two of them really established the strength of football in the interior. They're responsible for our 2 state championships in the interior too. So I mean, I think it's only fitting that both of them have fields named after them. I think our kids just have another week of, hey, this is a big adversity we have to face, and it's going to make us better. So I think it's a good challenge for them, and Ketchikan is definitely ready for this game. They're a good team. They've much improved upon last year, and so it's going to be a challenge for us.
And that'll do it for sports tonight. Your full weather forecast is next, and we'll catch you next time.
Hey everyone, welcome back into the Fairbanks Evening News. Mike Schultz with you once again, taking a look at the weather with the moon behind me. A nice full moon shot that was captured by a good friend of ours, William Blizzard. Moon on the clouds. As you can see, a gorgeous photograph there. And as always, if you have a photograph to share with us, by all means, send it to photos@ktvf11.com. What's going on at the airport right now? 67 for the high day. Right now, 1 degree cooler at 66. The low last night, 52. Record high, 85 in 1950. Down to 31 for the overnight low in 1914. Your sunrise and sunset, not quite 16 hours of daylight, a loss of 7 minutes from yesterday, and the barometer continues to rise. That's a good sign there. Our satellite radars, you can see more clouds across the southern sections of the state. And over the interior, the showers are getting less and less each day. In fact, our latest radar, we zoom in around the Fairbanks area, and you can see we're looking at showers really diminishing rapidly as we speak. So we're not looking for much more shower activity tonight. And it may pop up again tomorrow, but not nearly as intense because the moisture source is just diminishing as high pressure builds in. What's going on across the rest of the state? Well, over southeast Alaska, cloudy skies from Juneau and Ketchikan. Then lots of sunshine from Fairbanks right on down into the Gulf of Alaska. Kodiak at 62 degrees, Cold Bay 66. Up and down the west coast, cloudy skies for the most part. A little warmer at Barrow than it was yesterday, 42 degrees today. A high yesterday of 38, and Fort Yukon at 66. Lower 48 weather heading on down there. Again, warm day around the Seattle area, 81 degrees. Las Vegas at 92, Phoenix 91. Elsewhere across the interior sections of the country, we see 81 degrees in Minneapolis. Dallas, a very warm 94 degrees. New Orleans, 94. Washington, D.C., 86 degrees. And Miami, 94. Some isolated thunderstorm activity going on there. On the satellite radar, you can see the afternoon showers and thunderstorms developing in the daytime heating, also happening across the Gulf Coast states. A little bit of an area of low pressure bringing some more intense rain across the Great Lakes and over the Pacific Northwest. We're looking at, for the most part, just partly cloudy skies. And the overall outlook is calling for some relief for the folks that have been having drought problems over the Southwest, even though it may be the wrong kind of relief because you're looking at travel delays, flash flooding, and heavy downpours from Phoenix right on up into parts of Utah and the Southern California area, so it's not quite what they were looking for. The overall outlook for later on this week, calling for the jet stream to once again take a little bit of a dip down to the south. That will allow cooler air to come in from Canada, giving some showers there, just the opposite, as hot temperatures will continue to build across the southeast. In fact, they could be in the 100-degree category by later on this weekend into much of the southeast and the deep south. Well, back to Alaska for tomorrow. Here's what it looks like. For the northern sections, cloudy skies at Barrow, showers for Nome, and isolated thunderstorms are possible in the Fort Yukon area. Here in the interior, once again, we'll have those, we call them popcorn showers because they just pop here and there. Scattered showers with isolated thunderstorms, possible region-wide. Over southeast Alaska, not too bad. In fact, we're looking at partly cloudy to sunny skies for Juneau and Ketchikan. While over to the southwest, once again, not too much precipitation in the forecast. Variable clouds for Cold Bay, mostly cloudy skies at Kodiak and Bethel. And if you head on down to the Anchorage Bowl, isolated showers are possible at the Anchorage area, and then just a few clouds in the Homer area and lots of sunshine expected in Valdez and good silver salmon fishing, I understand, right now going on. Here's your forecast for the remainder of the night for the Fairbanks area. Showers have just about ended for tonight, 48 degrees for the overnight low. Tomorrow's forecast, once again, another day just like today with scattered showers around the area, 69 degrees. And the extended forecast, again, looking at temperatures right around 70 degrees all the way across the board with no precipitation and maybe some isolated showers on Thursday. Overnight lows will once again be right around 50 degrees. And looking at a little bit cooler, possibly some cooler air coming in for Friday and Saturday. But all in all, it looks like a great weekend setting up, guys. Sunny starting Saturday and running all the way through to Monday.
That is very good.
Yeah.
Good weekend weather.
Well, good football weather as we're
always.
Tomorrow night it's football, right?
Yeah, Wednesday night.
Yeah.
North Pole
Wednesday
High School.
night football. That's very good.
We'll be there.
Hopefully we won't have any of the popcorn showers that take effect.
Popcorn I like that.
That's what the weather first forecast calls them. Popcorn showers.
Very good. Thanks, Mike. That will wrap up this edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. We are glad you could join us.
Tonight on NBC Nightly News, you will find out because that's coming up next with Brian Williams.
You can join us here 6 days a week at 6 and 11 or online anytime at webster11.com.
That will do it from all of us here at the News Center. Have a good night and stay tuned throughout the evening for voting updates right here with Daryl and Stephanie. And Joe and I will be back later also.
We got you covered.
We'll see you back here at 11.